We are live and I am so excited. Welcome to Democracy Ish. I am Danielle Moodie.
And I'm Abdul, a new kitten owner.
What's funny is that you actually are a new kitten owner.
And I might be Abdul. I also might be Batman. But for today, I'll be Wajahat.
Oh, dear God. Okay, so this week, Waj has been absolutely batshit crazy.
It's
I
only
think
Friday.
that it's only Friday, but I feel like we have lived at least 87,000 lives. Or maybe 9 because we're so obsessed with cats this week. But Donald Trump, he will not back down. It doesn't matter that he was called out on ABC in the moment that he said what has now become a viral meme. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. He won't back down. And so I want to play this clip that Trump just said yesterday, and then get your reaction on the other side. Let's go into clip 1.
Levels that nobody has ever seen before. In addition to Aurora, Colorado, there's a place called Springfield, Ohio, that you've been reading about. 20,000 illegal Haitian immigrants have descended upon the town of 58,000 people, destroying their entire way of life. This was a beautiful community, and now it's horrible what's happened.
Waj?
I guess the reason I just want to say this first and foremost, the reason why I got the kitten is not to eat it with curry.
Thank you.
I just want to let you know is because our neighbors were giving away kittens, a new litter, and my kids ganged up on me. And they brought the neighborhood kids. So it was 8 versus 1. As I told you, I'm a child of immigrants who were like anti-pet. And then they're like, Baba, please, please. And 8 against 1. And my wife was there and we got home this kitten. I have not eaten the kitten yet. I do not plan to eat the kitten.
But you said yet, so also unclear.
Yeah, and also what this is, we've been joking about it, and the remix is, by the way, hilarious. Eat the cat, eat the kittens. God bless the internets. Just
God bless.
But what I've been saying for a few days, Danielle, and we've been talking about this, is I've been telling folks, listen, we laugh, but this is very dangerous. And the reason why this is dangerous is he plays into an old existing stereotype and trope of immigrants eating pets, dogs, and cats. This is nothing new. It's just that it's a reboot, and now he's decided to target Haitians. These Haitians, by the way, are not illegal. These Haitians are not eating pets. Like you mentioned, it has been debunked by city officials, right? And what I was concerned about this entire time was this is a playbook that he used in 2018, right before the midterms. People forget, but I have the receipts. He said that there is a caravan, right? An invasion of Middle Easterners and Mexicans and gang members. And he said that was the only topic, the only one talking point that he decided to drum up before the midterms. What happened? Robert Bowers, a white nationalist, used that same language, Danielle, went inside a synagogue, killed 11 people, and said, screw your optics, I'm going in. I'm going to punish the evil, filthy Jews for bringing in the evil, filthy Muslims. And what you and I have been saying for the past couple of days is this is going to be an example of stochastic terrorism, poor Haitians, and just random black people, because bigots aren't nuanced, are going to get attacked and threatened. And
so, I mean, but voila, let's take a look at what has been happening now to the families. Let's look at clip 2, to the families in Ohio. People are being terrorized, right? I want to roll very quickly into clip 3, which is the bomb threats that happened, and that was yesterday. But folks, right before we came on air, Waj said, did you guys see what happened in Ohio? And so take a look at what just happened in 2 schools about an hour ago in Ohio. I think it's clip 3.
2 schools were evacuated.
2 schools were evacuated. So it's like, folks, when you look at this and you see what is happening, the reality here is that the rhetoric turns into violence, right? The rhetoric turns into violence. They keep saying like, oh, it's just, it's just words and it doesn't matter. Waj, I don't know how many examples of folks with the manifestos that we can see that when they listen to Donald Trump, when they listen to JD Vance, when they listen to these Republicans, they take action. And their action looks like bomb threats, vandalism, people needing to keep their children home, staying home themselves, Haitian families now wondering if this place that they've made their home the last 4 years can continue to be their home because now they feel unsafe. And that was the plan all along.
And yesterday, I mean, there's so much that's been happening that, we have to keep the receipts. But yesterday, city official, they had to close down City Hall. They had to close down City Hall in Springfield, Ohio, because dumbass MAGA supporters, violent MAGA supporters sent in threats. And they're like, you know what? It's not safe. So it's not just attacking Haitians, but this is a small, violent, radicalized cult that belongs to Trump that is holding us hostage. We are terrorized by the economic anxiety and grievance of a bunch of people who need us to suffer just to, Danielle, feel great again. Because this dumbass ain't going to make them great with his concept of a plan of healthcare, which, he has none. He's just going to eliminate healthcare. He's not going to make them great by just giving everybody guns. He's not going to make them great by saying that climate change is a hoax. He needs to make them feel great. And the way they feel great is by attacking the rest of us, women, LGBTQ, Muslims, and now poor Haitians. And there's a word that I've been saying for a while. I know it's a tricky word, but it's the perfect word to describe what is happening. Stochastic terrorism. And stochastic terrorism is when public officials or media target a specific individual or community, and that leads to random predictable acts of violence. So you mentioned that he's done this before. Media. Nancy Pelosi's husband, Mike Pence, his vice president that he threw to the wolves.
Right.
Co-workers, teachers, doctors, law enforcement, and now Haitians.
And what pisses me off so much is that I want people to understand, and I saw this, and we don't have the clip of this, but I saw it right before I came on because I was like, I'm not putting this woman on here. But this white woman decided to buy all of Taylor Swift's albums and fan memorabilia so that she could burn it in her driveway and then talk while she's burning it about them eating the pets and eating the dogs. And all in the comment section, people are like, so the way to get back at the celebrity that you don't like now is to still buy the merch just so you can burn it? Like, if that's not idiotic cult-like behavior, I don't know what is.
Well, they remember they did that to Kaepernick?
Oh, yeah.
And then Nike
Let's buy all your jerseys so that we can burn them, you fucking dummies. Nonetheless, but here's what I will say about what is actually happening and what has actually happened in Springfield, Ohio. Yeah. Springfield, Ohio was experiencing, much like other Rust Belt small towns, severe economic decline and a labor shortage. The reason why 20,000 Haitian immigrants were brought into and settled into Springfield, Ohio was to contribute to a declining workforce. That's I want to throw up, clip 4.
There you go.
What has actually happened now over the last 4 years is that Springfield, Ohio is experiencing an economic boon that they have not seen in nearly 10 plus years. And it is because Haitian people have come in. They are once again reviving this area by providing their labor, providing their skill set. And now this place is in a boon. But also because they're, what is the word that you always say? Black. Because they're black. Because of black. There is cultural friction, right? When you bring in 20,000 people that have a different cultural orientation, a different ethnicity, like you're going to have friction, right? But it doesn't have to be exasperated by racism. You can learn that, oh, look, we're thriving again, and we're not thriving again because white people decided to wake up and go do the jobs that they didn't want to do in the first fucking place.
Just to put a pin on it, and the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio are not an outlier. If you see throughout America, immigrants, it has been reported again and again and again, foreign-born individuals commit less crimes than Native Americans. And furthermore, in the long run, they're an economic boon to the local community. And furthermore, Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and all these freaking white nationalists are terrified about the declining birth rate. Guess why the birth rate is even not even lower in America and Europe? It could be even lower. You know why? Because of immigrants. Immigrants come into these places like Springfield, Ohio, where everyone has fled, and they do the jobs that no one wants, and they populate, and they help the economy, and they help the American and EU birth rate. And the irony of irony is the same people who are an economic boon and benefit to this country are seen as a threat because they're black or brown.
Or brown. So let's switch gears and go to my latest Twitter beef, which I am kind of loving.
Oh, it's great.
It's not as meaty as Drake and Kendrick. Nobody's dropping, whole albums and performing at the Super Bowl. But Waj, I'll turn it over to you to introduce the MAGA Civil War.
Oh, you know what? I'm here for the MAGA Civil War. It's racist versus racist in a competition of who is less racist, and no matter who loses, we all win. I'm talking about the Godzilla versus King Kong of racists, Laura Loomer versus Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. For those who don't know, there you go. So this is Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is responding to Laura Loomer's post. Now, Laura Loomer, we'll talk about her in a second. If you could see at the bottom, she goes, if Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer satisfaction survey. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, folks, for those who you forgot.
Who may have forgotten. I don't know how, but may have
Jewish
forgotten.
space lasers, hangs out with white nationalists,
right?
Spoke at Nick Fuentes' conference, chased David Hogg, the high school shooting survivor, posted with a gun in front of the squad. That Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Correct.
This was a bridge too far for the racist Marjorie Taylor Greene. And she goes, this is appalling and extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA. This does not represent President Trump. This type of behavior should not be tolerated ever. Laura Loomer should take this down. I mean, you can't
make this shit up.
Can't make this shit up.
I looked at it and I said, was she hacked? Like who took over Marjorie Taylor Greene's Twitter? Because I'm like, did she take her medication that day? Because none of that to me, I mean, it made sense, but coming from Marjorie Taylor Greene, we're looking to her to be anti-racist of all of the representatives in Congress, this militant MAGA maggot, this woman who has said some of the most vile things. By the way, Donald Trump, things that he has said to the squad members. Remember, go back to your country, to American-born Black and brown women, right? Go back to your country. You don't belong here. And this to Marjorie Taylor Greene from Laura Loomer is a bridge too far, but we have some thoughts, Waj, as to why it may be a bridge too far for Marjorie.
Do
you want to set up this video?
Oh, is this? Oh, okay. So we have to talk about Laura Loomer. And
tell the people.
Let's give it context before we show this video and this clip, which will make you vomit a little bit. Laura Loomer, I've been following her for a few years because she is an unrepentant anti-Muslim bigot. The stuff that she has said about Muslims, the conspiracy theories that she has promoted, I don't want to repeat. She is so far unhinged that even the right wing basically tried to exile her. But what this reveals is that Laura Loomer is the id and voice of MAGA. This is the end result of Trumpian lies and conspiracy theories. She's a 9/11 truther, folks. She believes it was an inside job. She has promoted every single nutty conspiracy theory. She drank with Nick Fuentes, the white nationalist, and the anti-Semite, even though she's Jewish, right? So this is a person who is completely unhinged, who is further to the right than Marjorie Taylor Greene. I just want you all to just listen to that for a second. This person, Laura Loomer, was on the private jet of Donald Trump, the same jet he took to the presidential debate. This Laura Loomer was the same woman that he brought to the 9/11 memorial on 9/11 this week, Danielle. All right, a 9/11 truther. And then we sit there and think, why is Laura Loomer so chummy with Donald Trump? And can you show?
Please show 7B, because
That's
folks,
that says Trump 2024.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They smashing.
when I saw this go around on social, because now it's everywhere.
Because there's several clips.
There's several clips, folks. Let me tell you something. I don't pose that close with nobody, okay? Like nobody. And I just want to remind folks, yes, Melania's still in the picture. He's still married, but she's not on his jets going to these events with him. Was she at the 9/11 event this week?
Nope.
Like the other spouses of former presidents and what have you? She wasn't there. Was Melania the one that was giving people a tour of the jet? No, that was another brunette in the Trump circle. So here's my theory about the MAGA civil war. Do you remember when Marjorie Taylor Greene waited for hours on the tarmac for Donald Trump's plane to land, and then he landed, got off, and then walked right by her?
Because she was the one who, as Mary Sue said, she was the one who wanted to put out first.
Right. So
in the comments, Mary Sue, I see that.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is that I don't believe that this has anything to do with anybody's racism, because they are both the most racist, white supremacist, like MAGA, women that you can be. I was just waiting for Beetlejuice, Laura Boebert, to enter the chat on on social media with this one.
Well, I have a question for you. If you say Beetlejuice 3 times, who pops up? Laura Loomer, MTG, or Boebert?
Oh my God. Now I just don't know.
I say it's Loomer.
I'm going to say
that's
Loomer.
How crazy she is.
Yeah, I'm going to say now it's Loomer. But pretty much they all want to bang Donald Trump. For whatever reason, this 2-time impeached, adjudicated rapist, 34-count felon, sexist, misogynist pig is like their cup of tea. Like if they were to create the dating app for white supremacists and just call it Unhinged, this is their dude. This is their guy. So the fact is that
Danielle, the funny thing would be, even if you swipe right or swipe left, you end up with Donald Trump.
You end up with Donald Trump. So I think that this entire spectacle, because that's what it is for Donald Trump's favor, right? It's like it's the biggest look at me, pick me. Moment. Can we just show it one more time? Because people are just joining.
Folks,
just look. Let's just play 7B one more time.
You can drive me.
That says Trump 2024.
Thank you.
There are several folks. There are several photos and videos like this, and it's one of those situations where you even had Lindsey Graham. Senator Lindsey Graham was like, he was like, this is disgusting and racist. And because Lindsey Graham is a political operator, and he realizes the optics of a Laura Loomer at 9/11, the optics of a Laura Loomer on a jet before a presidential debate is too much even for the GOP. But look, we're speculating, but it's Donald Trump, a vulgarian. It very well could be, Danielle, that they're smashing, and because they're smashing, he's like, all right, I'll bring you. I don't care. And the taking it to how this impacts us, Laura Loomer, before J.D. Vance, his vice president, shared this fake news and doubled down on it about Haitians, even though it was corrected. Laura Loomer was the one posting about it. And what we know about Trump is he oftentimes repeats verbatim what was literally just told to him. So if you talk to him before he goes and gives like a public event, he'll just say what you just told him.
Whatever it is that you said.
And
right?
if Laura Loomer is there and J.D. Vance is there and Stephen Miller's there, folks.
I mean, well, let's also remind folks, what did he say about JD Vance during the debate? He don't know him, right? Like David Muir said, well, JD Vance said that you would, vote for a national abortion ban. I don't talk to JD.
Who JD?
Who's that? Who that? Sir, that's the man that's going to be a heartbeat away from the White House. Do you know him? No.
It's one of those situations where they're melting down, Danielle, because they have nothing else. And we haven't even talked about the debate yet. And we have talked about the debate. The debate, Kamala, look, for those who don't know, I'm originally from the Bay Area. I moved here to Alexandria, Virginia about 12 years ago because I married way up. My wife is prettier than me, smarter than me. But I was in the
doctor.
Yeah, she's a doctor. But unfortunately, she's not a radiologist or dermatologist. She's one of those like help people doctors, like family medicine sucks. No money in it. Go become a radiologist or a dermatologist.
Or a plastic surgeon. Come on.
Plastic surgeon. But I say this because we saw Kamala Harris's ascent. We saw her when she was a DA. We saw her when she was an AG. We saw her when she was a senator. And for those of us who follow politics from California, we knew the stars were bright for Kamala. We are not surprised that she's basically a footstep away, inshallah, from the White House. So I was not shocked, Danielle, that Kamala Harris, a professional prosecutor, was prepared, brought all the receipts, knew how to argue and present her case,
3,000%,
and to dismantle Donald. Everyone else was shocked. I was not shocked. And furthermore, Donald was prepped, Danielle. I'm saying this just to show you how unqualified, how idiotic, how impetuous, what a failure this man is. He has no impulse control, that he was vetted and trained by his team that she is going to bait you. Do not get baited. And she baited him with the rally in the first 15 minutes, and he melted down. It was like a puncher who gets hit. What did Mike Tyson say? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. She punched him with the rally. He's like, Haitians, pets, immigrants.
I think, and I'm going to do you one better. I think that it started before the rally. My dad called me this morning. He's like, I want your full rundown, not what I see on air. I just want to talk to you. So he's like, tell me your moments, right? Which I just put in the chat, folks. What were your favorite moments from the debate? So tell us in the chat. But
Margaret. Okay, Margaret, yeah. You, me, and Margaret are on the same page. Just wait, Margaret.
Okay, just wait. Right. So my dad says, he's like, no, I think that she got him from the moment she walked over to him and stuck out her hand. He's like, I think that moment, he's like, because my dad had to remind me, Biden and Trump did not shake hands at the first debate. So my dad had said, well, I think that if she goes to shake his hand, that's going to be the end all be all. He had no plan to walk to the middle of the stage. He went right to his podium. She invades his space, goes over to him, puts out her hand and says, Kamala, right? A name which he did not utter the entire debate, nor did he look at her. But that was like I said, oh, that was the first. Boom.
I didn't even think about that. I think your father's on point from the get. She established dominance. Yes. She established the fact that she's the aggressor. She went right to his face. Yep. She took over his territory, and he never looked at her. And she kept looking at him the entire time.
So let's set up. So
my favorite moment.
It's my favorite moment. It is Waj's favorite moment. Let us deliver. Let me look because I want to make sure that I have it right. Let's deliver Kamala's pregnant pause, clip 8.
Word. I can't say it. It starts with an M and it ends with a. This former president.
What's your favorite curse word?
All right, we got it. Thank you. That, by the way, our Spinderella today is Mercedes. Thank you, Mercedes.
Yeah,
she's the one spinning.
Let me tell you something. In that moment, because we were on Mary Trump's Live, Jen Tab and I were on Mary Trump's Live, and we're watching, and I almost fell. Folks in the chat were watching. I almost fell out of my chair because in my mind, I was like, "Oh, like she is calling on the ancestors and Jesus to keep that motherfucker buried right inside of her throat." because if that comes out, like, we're a wash. And she was like, you former president.
And, you know, in real time, I saw it. I'm like, oh, she's going for the motherfucker. She, like, you could tell, because for folks who didn't see it, that motherfucker that was suppressed was on the heels of her making the case and reminding people that this dude invited the Taliban during the week. She forgot to mention during the week of 9/11. I could tell she was trying to dig for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she invited the Taliban during the week of 9/11 for negotiations. And this mother effer released his negotiations, helped release 5,000 Taliban prisoners who are now, of course, have taken over Afghanistan and have made women's life an entire hell. But that was Samuel L. Jackson's spirit pushing down the motherfucker. He's like, I'm helping you, sister. Don't say it now. She goes, ah. But even if she said it, we'd be like, he deserves it at that moment.
Oh my God. And, you know, and shout out to, if you all have not seen it, I posted it in my post debate video, which is up here. But they, who was it? The Lincoln Project's mashup of all of the curse words that we were all thinking in that moment. Oh my God. That was the pregnant pause of all pregnant pauses. It was fucking glorious.
You know, and you know, we have two quick items, but I will say this, because we gotta end on the tay. But before we end on the tay, I have to say this. This is what we're up against, folks. Kamala Harris, a professional, a prepared woman, a person who brings the receipts, cogent, lucid. Agree with her positions or not, she at least can talk about it. She's informed. Versus a man who was giving a rally, a tepid, sparsely populated rally yesterday in Arizona, and yet again forgot where he was. Can we play that clip, Mercedes? Trump doesn't know where he is. This was last night.
You remember this when you have to go to vote. Okay, just remember this. 2,000% increase. It's a small.
Just look up in the corner, folks, where it says live. He says, Pennsylvania, just remember this when you go to vote. He's in Arizona.
So Pennsylvania, remember this when you have to go to vote. Okay, just remember this. 2,000% increase. It's a small.
This is the man that said on the stage, Joe Biden doesn't even know if he's alive. Joe Biden doesn't even know where he is. And Kamala Harris had to remind him real quick, just so you know, homie, you're running against me. Not Joe Biden, right? Because you have all of this artillery that you have in the shed coming out heavy for Joe Biden. And guess what? You're not running against him. And so, again, were there any, I don't know, headlines, Waj, that talked about Donald Trump's mental acuity, talked about Donald Trump's mental fitness, talked about whether or not he is prepared should step down? Anything?
No, and that's, you know, we talk about this often. If you're joining us for the first time, the double standard, the both sides asymmetry, how it harms democracy and the truth. If you come to our show, we promise we'll always give it to you straight. We don't bullshit. And we have a good time doing it. And I appreciate you all joining us. It was a lot of fun. And speaking of fun, I'm the one who just put this clip because I saw it off of Danielle's page. Danielle, we got to mention the most influential, popular, famous, childless cat lady.
Oh, yes.
Decided to throw her kittens down for Kamala. And as a result, introduce your tweet.
Okay, so I don't know if we actually have it to put up, but I will say this. So Taylor Swift, right after the debate, that bitch knows how to drop. Like, that's all I will say. So Taylor Swift, following the debate, comes out with her endorsement on IG with her 238 million followers.
Wow.
And tells them that they need to vote, that she has decided, she's done her research, and that she has decided for a number of reasons she is endorsing Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And this is what I will say, folks, that in the time since Tuesday, today is Friday, since Tuesday, over 400,000 people have registered to vote.
Wow.
According to CBS News, they are registering about 9 to 10,000 people an hour. And according to like the smart tracker of voters, because the question is, well, that's great. You know, you're getting these people registered to vote. Will they actually vote? One of the analysts said, well, I'll tell you this about 2020. Around this time, when people were registering to vote, 80% of them voted. 80% of them voted. So yes, this is my 9 to 10,000 people an hour, folks. So again, JD Vance wanted to come out following this, following her endorsement and say, nobody listens to out of touch billionaire celebrities. And I'm thinking, remove Taylor Swift's name and just put in Donald Trump's name, because ain't nobody trying to listen to him. Okay.
It's remarkable, and I hope it inspires more people with platforms to come out. You have to make a choice here. There's no both sides. This is about democracy versus dictatorship. Nothing is perfect. We keep it real here. We call out what we see. We criticize Dems when it's necessary. But this is for the future of our country, and we need to protect each other. We need to protect our Haitian brothers and sisters, our black and brown brothers and sisters, our poll workers, our teachers, because as he gets more desperate, Trump is going to engage in more stochastic terrorism, build communities, find communities. Hopefully this is a community for all of you. And I will say something that Danielle won't say, because she, like me, is a daughter of immigrants and we're terrible at self-promotion. Please like and subscribe. This is part of Mary Trump Media, but we're hosting it on Danielle's new YouTube show. Like and subscribe to Danielle's YouTube show. Let's get her to 3,000 subscribers, and next week we'll get her to 4,000. And if you all enjoyed the live, I think you all did, we'll keep doing it live.
Yeah, we're gonna keep doing it live.
Remember Bill O'Reilly? Do it live.
Do it live. We're going to do it live every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be your favorite nerds, me and Waj here. So yes, like and subscribe to the channel. Share this. It is going to go up right when we end the live today. Thank you so much for the energy in the chat. I love this. I actually really enjoyed all of the conversation, all of the back and forth, and we're just going to continue to do this. So thank you for listening to Democracy-ish, watching Democracy-ish. I'm Danielle Moodie.
And I'm Abdul.
And we will be back next week, dear friends, if in fact we have a country left. Inshallah.